What's up, YouTube? Tops85401 here, and I am taking the Mangini challenge. He wants us to find a baseball card, do a little bit of research on the player, and then make a video talking about that player. I was looking through my box of random cards. I actually brought them to work with me because my coworker wanted to look at some baseball cards while we were working, and I found a cool card. I've been racking my brain. What card am I going to do for the Mangini challenge? And I found the perfect card sitting in a random box of cards I brought to work. And it's this card right here. Clyde Paris. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Clyde Paris. I actually went online, read an article about him. There's a little bit of information on the back of this card. So if you want to pause it, you can. I don't know that it's coming out very well, actually. But anyways, I'll tell you a little bit. So I read an article. He played in the Negro Leagues from 1946 through 1949. And in his rookie season, once that season was completed, he didn't feel very comfortable playing baseball in the United States, obviously because of all the racism and just all the hurdles the guys from the Negro Leagues had to deal with. And he had no intention of coming back and playing baseball in the United States. And Clyde Paris was from Panama. So after the 1946 season, he went home. He couldn't find a job, so he said, well, I guess I'll go back and play baseball in the United States. And so he ended up playing in the Negro Leagues from 46 through 49. And then in 1949, when the Dodgers were doing their spring training in Panama, they discovered Jonathan Clyde Paris. And he ended up getting signed to a minor league deal with the Brooklyn Dodgers. He played in Double-A and worked his way all the way up to Triple-A. He even won a batting title with, I think it was Montreal, the Triple-A affiliate for the Brooklyn Dodgers. But he never made it to the show. And Clyde Paris ended up retiring in 1960 from minor league baseball. After he retired, he moved to Washington, ended up getting a government job, and people pretty much forgot about him. But then in 2007, there was a gentleman doing a bunch of research on the guys that played in the Negro Leagues, and he discovered Clyde Paris, and he actually reached out to him, met him, and that's how his story has been circulated ever since from 2007. So it turns out Clyde Paris played with a lot of the greats from the Negro Leagues, like Josh Gibson. He didn't play on the same team as Gibson, but he played against Josh Gibson. He faced Satchel Paige and many of the other ball players that played in the Negro Leagues. Talked a little bit. He shared a little bit of his experience in the article that I read. Guys, I will be putting the article down below for Clyde Paris if you want to read more about him. But just a fascinating player. So moving forward in 2007, when this gentleman discovered him, he befriended him, and then he reached out to Topps, not Clyde Paris, but the gentleman that befriended Clyde Paris, and this card was made in 2009. Really cool baseball card. And Clyde Paris was a heck of a ball player. He was a line drive hitter. He won multiple batting titles in the different leagues he played in. He played, like during the wintertime, he played in Panama, won batting titles. When he was in Triple-A Montreal, he won a batting title. He could hit the ball real hard. Not a home run hitter, more of a line drive doubles hitter. He was a first baseman, according to this baseball card. I'm sure he played all kinds of different positions. And his thoughts on this card were, that's not the best picture, but I'm sure glad that I'm on a baseball card. So Clyde Paris got to see this baseball card. He did live to age 93, passed away in 2016. All right, guys, so that's it for Clyde Paris. That's it for the Mangini collection. I will be putting a link to the article that I read about Clyde Paris down below. I also will be putting a link to the Mangini collection. If you have had your head buried in the sand, you won't know who he is. However, if you're active in the community, you're going to know who John is. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. And until next time, as always, happy collecting.